Good morning. In my series concerning the High Court order that Jehovah's Witnesses in their internal judicial system must use fair procedures, I need to explain how I was affected because I didn't know that behind the scenes Watchtower has a series of secret rules which are completely different to what's published in their public literature. So how was I affected? We have to go back to the 90s. Elders did something to somebody else, and it was so bad that I became suicidal because I was sort of involved in it. But I believed that the elders in that situation were not acting according to Watchtower Society rules. They had not given detailed information concerning the charges, and they had not allowed a defence. Now, I kept saying to the branch office, well, no, look, you must tell them that they should have done that. And the branch office kept saying, oh, yes, we'll put this right, we'll put this right. What I didn't know was that they couldn't put it right. So how it affected me was that if I had known of the secret rules, I could have gone to my solicitor straight away and I would prevented all the harm that was done. There was no need for me to end up in hospital in such dire circumstances. So we come to 2004, and because of all the problems that we had endured in the 90s, I lost my home and I was living alone in rented accommodation at this time. Now, there were a lot of rumours going around the congregation at that time in January of 2004. So I was called to a meeting at the Kingdom Hall. This was not a judicial meeting. Elders X and Y wanted to know what evidence I had concerning the wrongdoing that they believed was going on in the congregation. Well, now, if you know something and you don't tell the elders, you're in serious trouble. But I had no evidence of wrongdoing whatsoever, so I told elders X and Y categorically I knew nothing about any wrongdoing. So that they had to leave it there. So come April of 2004, I did receive some information from somebody loosely associated with the congregation. So I told the elders, and we'll call that the first incident. They didn't take much notice of that. But at the beginning of May 2004, another incident arose. So I told Elder X about this. Now, what I didn't know was that he wasn't listening. He was going away on temporary circuit work the following Tuesday, and his mind was full of what he had to do before he went. So he thought I was talking about the first incident. But I walked away thinking, right, he knows, I've told him, and that's that then, he can deal with it. Come the middle of May, of course, this is when elders Y and another elder called to my home, accused me of slander, refused to tell me what the slander was, and I had to call the police to ask them to leave. And I refused to go to the judicial hearing, so I was disfellowshipped out of hand. I phoned the branch office. Well, now, we might just backtrack a minute. You see, that visit of the elders late at night accusing me of slander and me left in no idea what I was being accused of, I was in bits. I was really quite ill. I mean, I couldn't sleep. I could hardly eat. Now, if I had known about the secret rule that Watchtower has, that if elders believe that you are guilty, then they will only inform you in broad terms of the accusation. They make up their minds, as it says here. Here's the elders' book, and it says a judicial committee should not be formed unless the wrongdoing has been established. So by the time the elders came to me, they'd already made their minds to my guilt. I knew nothing about it. I'd not been allowed to defend myself. Now, if I knew about this secret rule, the broad terms rule, only inform in broad terms, I would have gone immediately to my solicitor. My solicitor would have written to them the next morning and said, what you're doing is unlawful, it's against the Constitution, and you've got to stop this. So instead of trying to sort it out myself, by thinking, right, these elders have gone against Watchtower Society rules, that's in the August 15th Watchtower of 1997, which states that elders, before they go any further, will discuss the matter with you and will investigate thoroughly as to the accusations. Well, no, they hadn't done that. So I was left thinking, it's not the religion that's at fault, it's these elders. They've acted independently on their own agenda. So I phoned the branch office and they persuaded me to accept an appeal committee. Now I'm going to leave that for the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Now, if you know anybody who has been treated in the same way, that elders have turned up at their place and accused them, but not in enough detail for them to know what they're accused of, you might spread the word that this action by elders is criminal. It's unlawful, it's against the Constitution of Ireland, it is also against the laws of natural justice, which I will explain later. Thank you very much for watching.